Hi there. So I want to do something a little different for today's World Watercolor Month video. We're going to come into my studio and we're going to just kind of dive into this little space, but we're actually going to ignore the studio part, even though there's so much I'd love to show you about it. You can actually check out my studio tours that are already on YouTube. I love this space. My husband built it. But today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to go a little deeper into the room and well, I'll just show you. Let's go. I'm celebrating World Watercolor Month with a new video every day in July. So I just got back from a trip and I haven't actually unpacked yet, so it's a little bare over here. And we're gonna try to make this work because it's a little bit dark in the studio today. And we're gonna head over this direction to my studio restroom. And this is going to be a fun little tour of the studio bathroom. My husband, like I said, he built this studio. He's a carpenter and he has strong opinions about design. So when it came to the restroom, he did not give me a lot of say. He actually kind of wanted to have the freedom to develop this room on his own. And so that was a really fun experience to come in and be surprised by this space when he finally unveiled it to me. So let's go take a look around. It's a tight little space, so it's going to be a little bit hard to show you. And we're going to ignore all the utilitarian things like the toilet and the shower because who cares? But as you come into this room, you can see we've got the brick paneling on the wall and the yellow stripes, which I'll tell you a story about in a minute. We've got some really fun kind of vintage style photos. Our family took these photos in 2014, so it's a few years ago. But yeah, that's my hunky husband and my son back a few years ago. And it just the style of the photos really fit this room. The mirror here is made from a Model A grill, an old car, and so that's kind of fun, hanging on the wall. And then behind the door, he built the door too. Everything is kind of had his hands on it. This drag racing photograph, which he bought in a drag racing museum in the States and somehow managed to bring home in our luggage, I think. That was a challenge. When I came into this room after he had finished most of the design process, I looked around and I told him, this looks like the back alley behind a gas station. And he says, that's exactly what I planned for it to look like. And so I love that fact that he had a creative kind of prompt and a purpose. He used an old street light for the light fixture. The brick paneling gives that feeling of kind of vintagey things. There's not a lot of brick in our area, so we mostly have lumber buildings. So it's kind of fun to have the look of brick in here. The walls, I promised you a story about the walls. Originally, I was thinking maybe a Venetian plaster. So I was using the yellow, but then I was trying to texturize it with kind of a terracotta color and it just wasn't kind of resonating. So I had a big patch on the wall over here. And we're looking at it and we're like, this isn't really working. And so we're like, well, what are we going to do? And we're just standing there both looking at it. And simultaneously, at the same time, that's what simultaneous means, we're like, stripes. And both of us just had that vision for these yellow stripes on the walls. So that's a favorite part, a favorite detail of the room. The same with the sink. It was one of those things where we were looking online to try to figure out if we could find something that had a little bit of a different look. And I've loved the vessel sinks for years. And so this seemed like a good place to do that. Don't look too close because it is stained with paint. And just all the little details in here have kind of an automobilia feel to them. This copper pipe he found in his like junk bin, and he just figured out a way to make it into a towel bar. The toilet paper holder even is, I think they call that a crankshaft. And the pistons on the other towel bar. This is really a sturdy towel bar, although I haven't tried to chin myself on it. And this pipe here, when I saw the price of how much that pipe cost, I was a little surprised because it's covering up a seam in the paneling. And I was really surprised that Wade was willing to spend that degree of dollars on a pipe that's purely decorative. but he had the overall look of the room in mind, and that was the priority. And I love that he cares about those beautiful details. And even this light fixture, this is actually the newest addition to the room. We originally wanted to put a light over the grill here, but we just couldn't find one that looked right. I was originally thinking we would use something that could look like headlights, but on the other hand, we wanted the lighting of the room to also be effective for, you know, putting on makeup and so forth. So someone gave us, I think my parents gave me this light with the little pulley, and Wade was able to wire it to the spot over there where he had planned to wire the light. And I can see now, and I haven't even paid attention to this until now, he added that little copper piping detail so that it would coordinate with other aspects of the room. So, you know, it's these kind of little design things when you are a family that cares about design, a family that likes to build things. Those are things that we notice and care about. The floor kind of coordinates with the rest of the room, the rest of my studio. It's just a soft pine that we've stained in a dark color and then sanded off as much of that as we could do with the time we had with the sander. That's another story. But it's just kind of fun to be present in this room that is just an expression of someone else's creative mind, and just, of course, a statement, a testimony of my husband's love for me as well, that he's willing to go to this kind of work, to this level of just really caring that I have this beautiful space to work in. And even my pit stops get to be kind of special and have like even lovely family meaning with these photos. I'll show you these two over here. They're really great. My daughter, husband, and son. And then this one up here is the, oh my goodness, so many reflections. I'm gonna pop up a better image of that photo in post-production, in editing. I'm just really thankful for this gift that I was given. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with more watercolor advice you can learn from. Don't forget to include the hashtag World Watercolor Month when you participate and post watercolor art in July.